Good evening, everyone. I hope my voice is audible to all of you and I'm clearly visible to everyone. May I get a quick confirmation over the chat box? Am I audible and am I visible? Yes, come on. Okay, so we are live on YouTube and only few people are here on this link because this was not marketed. So I hope everyone is able to view me and hear me on the YouTube as well. Can the peeps on the YouTube channel can also give me a quick confirmation? Yes. Okay. Awesome. Great. So let's get started with our today's session, guys, and let us see what we have for today. So welcome you all to the Advanced Audit and Assurance Orientation for June 2024. So first of all, I hope you guys know me and you guys have been attending my SBR sessions because if you are in AAA, I'm assuming you guys have done your SBR. I'm not saying you've passed it, but you've done the syllabus of SBR. Because when I start with advanced audit and assurance, I need to discuss, okay, this will be a very informal session. I'm not gonna, teach you anything or discuss the technical things. I'm going to be very informal with you. So I will tell you that this paper, why should you choose this paper? Okay, because it's an optional paper. Unlike SBR or SBL, it's like compulsorily that you have to give that exam. So this one is like you're choosing for it. So when you choose something, you should be aware of the challenges of that particular choice of yours. So I will give you both the positives and negatives of this paper because I've been receiving calls where students are still confused, ma'am, should I take up AAA or should I not take up AAA? Now, if you are a student who has recently given SBR, see, this is the best paper to take up right after SBR, not because I'm teaching this, but because this paper is highly linked with the subject of IFRSs. And that is the only reason that I am also good in, or I enjoy teaching this paper because it is very much linked with SBR. So it's like if you know the accounting standards. So if you guys have done SBR, you know that it's all about IFRS, it's all about accounting standards. So if you guys know accounting standards, then only you can audit the financial statements. What is audit? What is this paper all about? Is it about costing? Is it about financial management? Is it about anything else? It's solely about you being the examiner of the financial statements. So just like in SBR, your lens of checking out, your lens of doing the case studies was that you were looking into those case studies as an examiner. Or you were like telling that what will happen from the accountant's point of view. If accountant did a mistake, if accountant has wrongly applied any accounting standard, you would, point it out and say that this accountant is unethical, and then you would tell the safeguards. Now, when I talk about an auditor, the auditor has some more ethics to follow. The auditor has some more rules and standards, which are known as ACCAs, International Standards on Auditing, to be followed. So, if the auditor is following these standards, so in this paper, you are supposed to mix the knowledge of the accountant, that is the IFRS, with the standards and the code which is followed by the auditor, the rules which are followed by the auditor. So, who is an auditor? Why do we need an audit? The whole concept of audit is because of agency theory. So I'm sure you guys must be knowing about what is agency theory. So imagine you guys have a house and you appoint any caretaker for your house. So let's suppose you have a very big bungalow, so which is worth crores of rupees, Indian rupees, or maybe in your dollars, it's so million and billion dollars. So imagine, will you not be very insecure that what will happen to my property? What if it is misused, if I've given it on rent to someone? Maybe I'm using it as an Airbnb. So you're always worried that what will happen to my bungalow? You don't trust the person who's using that bungalow. And for that reason, you appoint a person that who's always there, who's telling you that, this is happening to your house. This is how the tenant is using the building. So you always keep a check. You need someone to report to you. You need someone who's examining or who's conducting a review on that bungalow. So that is the same reason if I talk about companies, The companies are actually owned by shareholders. These shareholders are the people who are actually the owners of the company, of the business. But who's controlling the business? That is the director. So director is controlling the business, owner is the shareholder. So imagine, will not the owner be insecure that my money is there with someone else? What if they lie? What if they do fraud? What if they collude? I need someone to check. I need someone to review their integrity. I need someone to assure me, give an assurance to me that whatever this person, this controller, the director is saying is correct. It's true and fair. So you can work on trust, right? You need some checking on it. So you just need transparency. And if what if that person is lying to you? So you keep a check on them, you conduct audit on them. So that is what is meant by audit. So if I talk about external audit, that is a person who's actually, just like in your board exams, when you used to give vivas, you used to give oral tests, someone else from other school used to come to your school and take your oral exam, that whether you are, good with the concepts or not. Why would the board, maybe CBSE board, ICSE board, why would they do this? Because they say that you are the product of a school and they want to inflate their result. No, every school wants that. What is my interest? My students pass with high scores so that at the end of the day, it's like everyone says this person is was taking classes from Tashwita. So that's my interest. Let's be very honest about it. So similarly, what was the school's interest? School's interest was that if there's a topper, that topper should be from our school. So that's why the board, CBSE board, ICSE board, they used to recruit people who would go to school and they would actually take the vivas of the students to ensure that they were having good amount of knowledge. That was also external examination. So just like that, if on a company's financial statements I conduct external examination, that is audit. So that is what is there in our auditing paper, that how do you conduct this external examination? Is there any rule? Is there any standard attached to it? And if you're conducting this external examination, you must be having some ways of communication. So if I talk about audit report, how do you prepare an audit report? What is the content of the audit report? Or what work do you do as an auditor? What procedures you conduct? How do you plan an audit? How do you accept a client? That is all standards on auditing. So this is the content of our paper. And I'm telling you in the beginning only, guys, this is the easiest syllabus in the world ever. Any paper you pick up, AFM, APM, ATX, SBR even, they are very like technical and kind of not we can say there are some tricks involved, there are some complexities involved, there are some calculations involved. In this paper the syllabus is very enjoyable, it's very easy. Then why is the pass percentage so low? Why is this paper like having the least pass percentage in the whole ACCA qualification? That whole reason is, number one, I will dissect it for you. The first reason is this paper is very lengthy. You pick up the question number one of AAA paper, it is for 50 marks. And in that 50 marks question, the examiner gets so many mood swings. He will ask you business risk, he will ask you audit risk, he will ask you procedures, he will ask you something about money laundering, something about ethics, maybe something about quality management. So the examiner is showing you various colors in one case study. So one piece of information, and I have to fetch out so many things from that one piece of information. That becomes exhaustive. That needs time, but time is less. And to add to this complexity, this length of the case study, we need to write our answers in professional words. Because now we have those 20 professional marks, let's not forget them, which were not there in SBR, right? These were not there in SBR. So these were only 4 marks in SBR. But here in AAA, you actually have 20 professional marks. So how can you fetch those 20 professional marks? You can only fetch them if you guys have good knowledge, good prior base of audit, the keywords of the definitions, so that you can, as it is, ooze out that definition in the paper. So if I want to write that the auditor should be very alert in this situation, you can't write this sentence. It's not professional. So what will you write? Auditor needs to enhance his professional skepticism. If I want to write that, this is something which is fishy, there is some mess here. So we will say this area seems to be a risky area from the, point of view of materiality. Maybe this area is, if you say it's an important area, you have to say it's a material area. Nothing terminology like important, messy, or, be alert. No, these are very basic words which we use in daily life. In audit, we have to use posh language, keywords. So, professional skepticism, judgment. What is professional judgment? Application of knowledge, training, and experience. So, everything is about articulation. You know what is articulation? Do you know what is articulation? Come on, tell me what is articulation. Have you ever heard about this word articulation? In SPR, it was very easy, no? 1 mark, 1 point, just write a bullet point, move on. In AAA, it's all about articulation. How you frame your answers. Like you have to write in shortest way possible. Why short? Because ma'am, we have limited time. The paper is lengthy and we have to cover it in the given time, or otherwise we will fail the paper. Because the person who's unable to complete this paper will fail. That's for sure. So you have to complete this paper. So we have to write short, but then professionalism is there, but we have to write in posh language. So what is articulation? Writing short, speaking less, but communicating more. So in one short sentence, I am going to say a lot of things. That is articulation. And that to posh language, to the point, crisp, but still very professional. So that is a kind of technique which is required out of you in this paper, and I hope and I suppose that you guys will be able to use this technique, provided that you cover the syllabus on time and then you focus on practice, case study practice. Because if you guys don't focus on case study practice, if you guys don't give mock exams, if you don't write 50-mark case studies, like, you just do RBR, read the question, brainstorm the question, then read the answer, you'll end up nowhere. It's all about that you have to practice, write it, write the answer, do timed practice, put an alarm clock in front of you that, okay, I completed this question well in time. If this was for 90 minutes, I completed it in 90 minutes. So over the period of time, you have to develop this. So I've told you basically what is AAA, what is the bad thing about AAA, what is the good thing about AAA. What is the good thing? It's easy. The content is very easy. You'll enjoy it throughout. I'll give you notes. I'll make you prepare via those notes. You'll enjoy those notes. You'll enjoy the linkage between AAA and SBR. Literally, you'll enjoy it. So if you guys have already enrolled and have started watching my classes, even though I am yet to arrange those classes for you under the section of each class. So I'll be giving you the recordings of the previous batch. Like previous batch was live, like totally batch. The whole batch went live last time. This time we have blend model. So I'll tell you all those stuff. But if you watch those classes, no, you'll enjoy it because there's a lot of linkage, especially if you have recently done SPR. I'll give you an example, short example. When I say IFRS, let's take an example of IS 16. Everyone knows IS 16? Come on. You guys are now grown-ups. You know what is IS 16? We remember property, plant and equipment, basic property, plant and equipment. Yes or no? Come on in the chat box. We remember basic PP. Everyone on the YouTube as well. Okay. Right. So we remember IS 16. Let's talk about IS 16, one part of IS 16. So IS 16 says that you cannot do cherry picking in revaluation model. Am I right? That if I am revaluing one asset, I have to revalue the whole class of asset. If you don't know this concept, this is from SBR. If you don't know this concept, don't worry. Even in my AAA classes, I also teach the standard. So I teach the standard, I teach the audit aspect of it. So it's like SBR and AAA is mixed. That's why, I am the good fit for AAA because it's like totally linked with the standard. So you know that in revaluation model, I can't cherry pick. If I revalue one asset, I have to revalue the whole class of asset. Now the question comes, how can I relate it to audit? If the auditor has to check whether the accountant has done the correct treatment or not, that's what his job is. So how can he check it? How can he make sure that the accountant has not cherry picked? What can he do? Come on, think practically. What can the auditor do? That if he wants to check that whether there was cherry picking or not, what can he do? Apply your mind. Cherry picking means I can maybe obtain something from the accountant. Maybe I can discuss with the management, first of all, that what all basis they use to divide the class of assets. So if we talk about machines, so if I say class of asset, so how do they divide various class of machines? So I will discuss it with the management. This point which I just said is worth 1 mark. It's a procedure that you discuss with the management to understand that what are the various classes of assets created by the company. Gives you 1 mark in paper. Then what else can you do? Why are you doing this? You're doing this to verify the valuation, to ensure correct valuation of the asset. Then what else can we do? As an auditor, we can actually go and physically inspect all the assets, whether they do they actually exist? All the assets which the company has recorded in their accounts, do they actually exist or they are bogus assets? Anybody can lie, no? So you will physically go there, inspect the assets and just verify whether the machines are there working fine or not. Then what else can you do for the valuation? You've done physical verification for their existence. What else can we do? We just need to ensure that they have not cherry picked. So we can obtain the working paper of the company, the management, where they've done the revaluation to ensure, to check it one by one, line by line. As an auditor, we'll go line by line. We'll say, okay, you've done a revaluation of machinery 1, you've done the revaluation of machinery 2. So you will check for all the machineries whether the revaluation is actually done or not. Then you can get their non-current asset register. There's a register which is maintained. So you can, get the hold of that asset register and check whether all the things were revalued or not and how they are charging depreciation, whether they're charging depreciation on the revalued amount or not. So I'm just giving you small examples that, this is how you can actually relate the standard with the audit aspect. So in the paper, you need to know the rule also of the standard, and then you have to take a step further and also write about that how can you check those things. Because as an auditor, it's not your duty to apply the standard. Your duty is to check whether the standard was correctly applied. How can you check that? That is what is examined in AAA. So it's a very interesting paper. If you remember SBR, even if you don't, you can revise it. Okay. I will revise with you in the procedures part, evidence part. So I'm just giving you an example that what actually, you might be very curious if you have just recently passed SBR, that why people say SBR and AAA are like bread and butter and they go very well together. So you will understand it while studying AAA. You'll love this subject if you actually, enjoy and don't cram. Cramming is not at all required in paper. I don't recommend cramming. I don't recommend cramming in SBR, provided there are some areas like what goes into P&L, what goes into OCI. But in AAA, not at all. It's very practical. It's all about technique. If I have to write a risk that in the planning stage of audit, this was the risk, then how can I write it? I can, I have to follow a technique. In the same way, I will write the risk. So now let me just show you some kind of the PPT that I've made for you. So let us go to the, yeah. So I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So I've discussed with you what is AAA exactly, right? What is Advanced Audit and Assurance. Now let me show you the syllabus of this paper. This is the syllabus, guys. What do you have here in front of you? You have regulatory environment. So there is some rules which are to be followed by the auditor while auditing the financial statements, because auditors have a lot of liability. Why? Accountants don't have liability that much. Auditors are, giving assurance. The shareholders, they were not trusting the director, so they, installed auditors into the whole environment of the entity. And this auditor actually develops a report and gives it to the shareholders and gives an assurance to the shareholders that the management is true and fair, the management is not lying, the financial statements which are presented are correct. So this auditor has a lot of liability. Now if this person will have a lot of liability, the regulation on this person would be too much. We all agree with this. Wherever the liability is high, of course the obligation or the rules attached to it will also be there. So that's why there's a lot of liability being an auditor. And that's why there is a proper regulation with regards to audit, which we will study. Ethics part of the audit, you have your, detailed ethics. In like SBR, they were this much. Now we'll have this much code of ethics, which are to be followed by the auditor. So that's why we have ethical considerations. We have practice management and quality management. With this area is very important. Why it's very important? Because here we will say whether the quality of the audit was good or bad. So in the case study, you will see there were some things happening in the audit. Like in the case study, they will present you such scenarios. This happened in audit, that happened in audit, and you have to comment whether it's a good audit practice, bad audit practice, whether the quality is enhancing or quality is deteriorating. That is what you mention in the practice management part. When planning and conducting the audit, what is planning and conducting the audit? When you start such a very risky assignment, if someone tells you, imagine, I will give you a assignment that you have to check papers of the students. Or let's say you are the marker of ACCA. Who marks papers of ACCA? People are recruited for that, right? So there are ACCA markers. So don't you think that these people who are marking ACCA papers, based on their feedback, a student is passing or failing? How much liability these markers would have? Imagine. So they need to properly, plan stuff and then conduct the marking. Similarly, the auditor also has a lot of liability. That's why he has a lot of regulation and ethics to follow. So he does proper planning. He assesses which will be the risky areas of my audit. Based on that, I will, conduct review and then conduct work on the financial statements, and then I will conduct the audit. So he plans the audit. He finds risky areas. Risky area means where there will be risk of material misstatement, MMS. Very famous word in audit, ironically. So material misstatement means important, very huge mistake in the financial statements. So that's the work of the auditor. He has to find the mistake. That is the work of an ACCA marker. If you are given a paper, the marker will find your mistakes. So the auditor's risk is, or what are the risky areas in the financial statement? For example, if a company was involved in hedging, that's inherently risky. Do you love hedging from SBR? Does anyone love hedging from SBR? You always consider it like, oh my God, this is very risky. What if hedging comes up, ma'am? I won't be able to solve the paper. That's what you consider. So hedging is a very technical topic. It goes over the head in SBR only for accountants only. It's a over the head topic in reality. Let apart be students who are doing ACC or whichever qualification. For real life working accountants, hedging is something which goes over their head. So that's a risky area for the auditor also. So that's why in the planning stage itself, the auditor, he finds the material misstatement. I don't know, there might be some mistake in this treatment of IFRS 9. Then completion, review and reporting. What is this? See, once the audit is planned, then the audit is conducted. How do you conduct an audit? You need to perform procedures, you need to perform work. How do you perform work? For example, I said you need to check whether there was cherry picking or not. You said discuss with the management, obtain the non-current asset register. That is your procedure. Now, if you have performed the procedure, that's it. That's the only thing that you have to do? No. You have to collect evidence also. Because as I said, auditor has a lot of liability, guys. He has to prove things. He's doing an investigation. So he keeps on collecting sufficient and appropriate audit evidence that whatever was, whatever I concluded, if I said financial statements were true and fair, if I said the hedging treatment was correct, if I said there was no cherry picking on the revaluation model, if these are my statements as an auditor, I need evidence to back up those statements. So that's why I collect evidences. So when you say discuss with the management, that's your procedure. What's the evidence related to that? Your copy of discussion, your copy of notes of discussion. Whenever you discuss anything, you always make notes, meeting notes. Zoom has this feature now. You have that AI feature in Zoom that whatever I will be saying in the Zoom meeting, that will come to me as a copy. That whatever this was the script of the meeting. So that is like copy of notes of discussion. That becomes your evidence in the audit. You discuss something with the management as a procedure, then you collected the evidence in form of a document. So that's what you do in conducting the audit. Then once you have done the procedures, you've collected the evidence, now comes review. Whatever evidence you have collected, is it sufficient? Is it appropriate? Whatever procedure you've done, is it correct? The engagement partner, the person who's responsible for the audit, will review this. Then finally, he's going to report it. How do you report? What do you report? You actually report, you actually report your opinion as an auditor. Why were you recruited? You were recruited because, the accountant wanted to know, the shareholders, they wanted to know whether the financial statements were true and fair or not. That is why you were recruited. So if you were recruited for these two things, now you're supposed to give an opinion because shareholders are waiting for your opinion. That's why you were recruited. How will you give this opinion? You will give this opinion in an audit report. Yes. And this is the report which is a proper format is available. How do you give the opinion? In which circumstance? If there is a small mistake, what kind of audit opinion do you give? If there's a big mistake, what kind of audit opinion you give? If there is like fundamental mistake, maybe it's a smaller one, but it's a fundamental mistake, then what kind of report do you give? So that is something which is there in our review and reporting part. Then you have other assignments. It's not just about audit. Your paper name is audit and assurance. So audit is one assignment. There are other assurance assignments as well. So there is a small section of your syllabus where we talk about due diligence, we talk about cash flow forecast, we talk about fraud, we talk about, forensic investigation. These are all assurance engagements. So I'll talk about these in details in the classes. Then you have current issues. So again, just like you have current issues in your SBR, similarly in AAA also, there are 2 to 3 current issues. Not much, 2 to 3 only. So this is what frames the syllabus of your AAA paper, which is very easy. You can easily crack this paper if you follow my technique. So what is my technique for AAA? What's the way out? If you take classes from TG professionals, or even if you don't, if you're doing self-study, my suggested technique, rest is all up to you, what you want to do, is first of all that you follow BPP kit. For this, I suggest BPP because audit is a very theoretical paper. Like you need content to write, you need keywords, you need a posh language. Kaplan is very crisp. So I recommend BPP kit for AAA because it's kind of more extensive. It's more like you have more questions, you have more content, the length is more. So it's better that you use BPP kit. And then second is notes. So I have some notes of AAA which I also used as a student. These are not something that I have prepared. Okay, these are the notes that even I used as a student. So I will be sharing these notes with you. So if you are enrolled with me, you will get it on your portal. Right after the class, they'll be available on the portal. You have to download them from there and you can get them printed, spiraled, and use them. Then what else? So kit you have to use for BPP, notes you have to use, no need to buy any study text. I don't follow any study text in your AAA lectures, just the notes and the kit and the lectures. So step number 1 is that you first get your notes printed, okay, hard copy. Then second step is watch the lecture related to that particular chapter. Then read the notes. So if I have covered something from the notes and I've taught you something in the class, now you will refer back to the notes and just have a grip over that chapter and then move forward to the next chapter. So first watch the lecture, then read the notes, underline, highlight, just read them. It's a theory paper. It's not something that you have to like I taught you and you are done with it. You like understood something from the lecture. I simplified the language for you. Now you have to retain it. So for that, you need to understand it, like highlight the keywords so that, I told you you have to write in professional words so that you remember that terminology in the actual paper. So keep on reading the notes. These notes are like for 295 something pages, 296 kind of pages. So don't think that it's a very short notes and you will enjoy the process of reading the notes. That's why you have to start early. Earlier you start, better it is. So within these notes, even the technical articles are covered. So that reduces your work. So read the notes side by side, watch the lectures. And then each Sunday, we are going to meet and we are going to do practice. For example, if I told you that, guys, from the lectures tomorrow onwards, watch the ethics part, watch the money laundering part. You will cover it from the lecture and do it from the notes. And then I will do the practice related to this in the live class. When will the live class be held? Each Sunday, 8 p.m. Right? So 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. We will start from next weekend, not tomorrow, because still you guys have not done anything, because this is our first orientation introductory class. So 8 p.m. IST, we will meet every Sunday, each Sunday, and we will cover the concepts from the notes before attending that live class. So what will be the way? This is the planner in front of you. See, first unit is money laundering and ethics. So from tomorrow onwards, that is 17th of March till 24th of March, you will cover it. Then in the live session, I will do ample of practice with you in the live class related to these areas. Then in the next class, you will do audit risk till 31st March. On 31st of March, I will pick up audit risk questions. Then evidence and procedures you will complete by 7th of April. So on 8th of April, we will meet and do audit risk, evidence and procedures. Similarly, review and reporting by 14th April, other assignments 21st April, small areas 28th April. Now, is this like something that I will only conduct these many live classes? Of course not. I am someone who is like literally very much fond of, if you guys have studied with me, I am literally very fond of live classes. I really believe that just giving the recordings is okay, that you did the concept, but it's all about the live sessions. So I highly, highly recommend that every student, see, if you're enrolling with me, the game changer, the key to pass with me is the live class. I really make those live classes engaging. I really love to have people talk, and that is how you remember stuff, because I believe in giving examples and teaching you so that you remember that in the exam. It's not a burden on you. So that in a fun way, we remember the concepts and we are able to easily crack the case studies. So I really emphasize a lot on live classes. So these live classes, I've just given you that these will happen for sure. Apart from these, for example, audit risk and evidence and procedure, I will conduct around 2 more sessions. When those sessions will be conducted, we will discuss it on the WhatsApp group, right? And of course, then you will have your Super 20 live classes. If you guys are from SBR, like if you have studied SBR with me, you know what is Super 20. So I'll show you like from the previous attempts, ultimate planner. You will also get the similar kind of ultimate planner. This is previous attempts ultimate planner, okay? So I gave them the recordings, but then we also had our Super 20 classes for 7 days. You will get the recordings of these 20 questions on your portal, but these will also happen live for you. Like Super 20 will change, of course. The question names will change. These are the questions which were the Super 20 for the last attempt. Based upon this attempt's important areas, I will pick up 20 more questions. See, these are from BPP kit. Now I'll pick up some more questions. Maybe I'll include some ACCA study hub questions also. And we will do more 20 important questions from every source possible. Like I'll pick up those technical things, like we as a tutor, we do know that okay, this is something which is technical for the student, which he might not be able to do himself, or this is important for this attempt based upon the trend. Like last time, what was important might not be important this attempt. So based on that, you get those 20 hot questions which we will do live in the class. And these are like 7-day classes which happen. So how many live classes in total? Around, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here, 7 super 20, 14 classes. And then you also have your post result review, 18. Then you have your grand revision, 19. Then you have your marathon, 2 days, which will turn out to be like around 22 to 23 live classes. So in a span of 2 months, we will have around 22 to 23 live classes in addition to your recordings. So recordings is just one part. If you think I'll just watch the recording and I pass, no. You have to attend the live sessions with me also. If you enroll with me, I'm telling you with my own, like, I don't know if I should say this or not. If you want to pass with the TG, the key to pass is be there in the live classes. That's the only way out. Okay, if you expect that you will just watch the recordings, I don't think that's much fruitful. If you're paying so much fees for a tuition class, I think you should enjoy all the benefits which are available, right? So this is something which I have as a plan for you for this attempt. Okay, and this is just like till 28th of April, I'll be done with the syllabus, and then we will start with the kit question practice full-fledgedly. So if I just show you the course on your portal, which how it is available right now. Okay. See, these are the live classes from the previous attempt. So I'll be putting them in the relevant section. By tomorrow, that will be made available. So the content will remain same. So for example, I told you to cover money laundering and ethics. So these are the classes: lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, lesson 6. So from 1 to 6, this is your first week's agenda, right? So basically, I'll be, putting all the questions here. And if you check this question section, these are the kit question debriefs, which are pre-recorded. But I will be putting 20 more questions here, which were the last attempt super 20 question. Plus 20 more questions we will do in the class. So 20 I'll put, 20 I'll do more, 40 questions. Up to 10 to 12 questions are already there. So like 50 questions, I am doing it with you. Then over and above it, after we are done with the syllabus, I will give you around 20 questions which you guys will solve. I'll give you assignments, unit tests. As and when we'll be getting done with our syllabus, like if you're done with audit risk, you'll do a test on audit risk. You're done with, review and reporting, you'll give a test on review and reporting. Then you'll have your mock papers. So it's like I will keep on cementing, like I will do my best that you guys pass this paper from my side. That's my job to do. That's my full-time work that I would do. So I want you guys also to give your full time, when whatever time you're giving 2 hours a day, you're giving 3 hours a day. I want you to give that fully to the preparation and follow whatever is being told to you. So this is the plan which is told to you. Okay. You have to follow this plan. There's no other way out. So if I just tell you how you guys can enroll into the course, let me show you that as well. All you have to do is you have to just visit the website TG Profs. So let me just take you through that. So you have to just visit tgprofs.com, and 10% off is going on. First, they will verify whether you are a human or not. That is something which is mandatory. So yes, I am a human. Thank you. Let them just load. Okay. So here you'll find out 10% off is going on. This is your coupon code. There is no extra discount, nothing which is given. Reason being, we keep a price, equality. There's no disparity, guys. You have to understand this. If I give discounts, then it might become discriminatory to other people. So this is the 10% off which is going on. And if you guys are waiting for your AAA results, you can even enroll in our reset batch. That is after the results. Then you get a 50% discount after the results. That's the reset batch. So this is what we have. And then what you have to do is you go to the courses section and you have to select AAA here, June batch. Okay. So it's already on. The classes are already uploaded here. You have to buy this. It's showing me this much. I will apply coupon code to it. It will reduce. So if you are out of India, you will see it in US dollars. If you are inside India, you will see it in Indian rupees. So this is how the course, the whole thing works. And what about self-study students? What if you're not enrolling with me? Will I be still able to help you? Yes. So for that, I need you guys to WhatsApp me, okay, and be part of our free WhatsApp groups. Because even if you're not enrolling, let me tell you, if you check out my YouTube channel, you'll figure out that we put a lot of content related to SBR, to FR, and AAA. So there are a lot of things which you might miss out if you are not connected with me. Because see, I'm not saying stay connected with me forever. Just when you're giving your paper, you should stay connected to everyone who's giving out free resources for a given subject. That's what I believe. Because I was also a student, not just long time before. So if you're giving a paper, even whatever paper you're giving, you should be aware that what's going on in the market, who's offering you what. So if somebody is giving out free resources, you must check out. And if you want to check out the free resources which I provide, I give you the free marathon videos. Like I will be taking you through recent past paper practice. Last time I solved December question paper in the marathon of AAA, and this time I'll solve March paper. So that means it's very interactive and it's something which is a guidance to even the self-study students. So make sure you stay connected with me on my WhatsApp group so you get updated whatever session is coming up, free sessions which happen on Zoom. And then we also have grand revisions, okay? Like last time also I posted a grand revision. This time also we will conduct grand revision live for our self-study students as well. So these are like fast track revisions 1 or 2 days before the exam. So to stay updated on that, you need to be part of our free WhatsApp group. For that, you need to text on this. So how to enroll, I've told you, and how to be part of the free WhatsApp group, that was also that I've told you. So this is from my side of the orientation class. Uh, I told you what all are the features. You get pre-recorded content, you get ebooks, okay? You get the notes, you get the ebook. Yes. And then what do you get? You get your WhatsApp tutor support. So you become part of a WhatsApp group where you guys are supposed to tag me and ask your doubt. You're not supposed to, DM, because that does not mean that I don't want to answer you on DM. The problem is that I get a lot of queries because I don't right now have a bifurcation, even though I'm planning to do this. I don't have a bifurcation between TGP number and my own number. So it's like one man show. So I have my own number, which is also the business number. So all the queries, some people who are doing ACCA in general, they do also ask me such questions, ma'am. Is ACCA something which we should pursue? And then there's a student who's planning to take up AAA. Will you also text on the same number? So it becomes messy. That's why I put, especially the people who are enrolled with me, you guys are the priority. You've paid for the course. So I have to give you the priority. I really do understand my responsibility towards you. So that's why a WhatsApp group is being made where I request you that you tag me and ask your doubt. Because if you ask on DM, that DM will get missed. I don't want to miss your DM. I don't do it intentionally. It happens because of the rush of the DMs. So if we work in a process, if you WhatsApp me on the group, it will not go unnoticed. Yes. And we make this WhatsApp group very much lively, right? So this is something that I want to request you all, that WhatsApp tutor support is on the WhatsApp group, not on the private messages. So this is our course content, and of course you get assignments, unit tests, and of course mock paper. That's the most important part. I mean, mock is something which will either make it or break it for you. So you have to give the mock exam. Yes. So this is what I suggest. Yes, Aman, you don't need any study kit. You don't need any study text. Only the kit and my notes. That's it. Nothing else. Right? Okay. Awesome. So this is the whole thing. And now if you guys have any doubts regarding whatever we've discussed on the YouTube, people are there and there are a few people here also on the Zoom. So please let me know your doubts. I'm open to your doubts now. Let's discuss. How's everything going on? Some people are here after SBR. How's everything going on? Come on. Any doubts? Anything you want to ask about this paper? See, when we study, when we go through the lectures, I teach you everything. Yes, Prachi, you will get individual evaluations. Of course, your assignments will be individually marked. Your mock test will be marked. So you will get proper feedback on your assignments and mocks. Yeah. Okay, Mayank says, what if AA base is not clear during the exemptions? Is there any way that we should cover from AA for AAA? No, Mayank, no need to do AA before AAA, even if you're getting exemptions. I teach everything from the scratch. And even if you go to your portal, I've put some important videos. Let me show you. For this problem, I've put some videos from my previous batches, which I used to take for AA. I've taught this AA paper also. So I've put some important basic classes like this extra procedure class where I teach basics of audit and assurance. I've put some IFRS fast track, basic group accounts class. So you'll find these basic videos also in addition to your AAA videos. So don't worry on that. Whatever is there on the portal is sufficient. If still you feel like, okay, I'm not understanding something, I'm always here. You can just, in the live class, you can discuss it with me on the group. You can discuss. I will add a class for you if you want, because I have my recordings for AA as well. So I will put that class on for the AA, from the AA course. Yes, Seven. Ma'am, my question is it better to do question as soon as we complete the chapter or complete the whole syllabus and then move to kit? Gia, I would suggest you that yes, you can do this, but in AAA, it's not practically possible that you can do a full question. For example, if you did something on ethics, you'll find some part of the question which relate to ethics. So that I'll bring for you in the live class. So in the live class that is on our Sundays, I will tell you that since you guys have done ethics now, since you guys have done money laundering now, these are the questions you can do. So I will handpick those questions for you until you complete the syllabus. After you complete the syllabus, then our whole time, our whole energy is for the kit only. That is in the month of May. Can we manage work and studies together specifically for AAA? SBRs was so good with you. Hi Tejas, glad to hear that. Yes, Tejas, of course you can manage AAA. AAA, as I said, the syllabus is very easy, and I know you've just recently done SBR, so it's going to be very easy for you. So don't worry on that. All you need is time for practice. So in the month of May, you should keep yourself free. That's what I usually say. 1 month before the exam is the kit time. So that time you need a lot of time, right? Okay. Anything else? Ma'am, as everyone will start their class on their own pace, and so how will we be evaluated based on different topic assignment as lectures are recorded? Amber, I just share the plan with you, know, that first week, you are watching the lectures on your pace, but you have to follow my plan. So if I have given you that for the first week, that means till 20, I think the first live class is happening on 24th March, right? So on like till 24th of March, you're supposed to cover ethics and money laundering. So that's my plan for you that if you follow that, then on 25th of March, you will have a test on ethics and money laundering. So you will get 24 hours for your submission. So that's how the assignments happen. So the assignments will happen as per the planner. Okay, so that's the plan you have to follow. Yeah. I have 9 exemptions and I don't know whether I'll be able to do June attempt. I'll try my best, but I think okay. Prachi, thanks for reminding me on this. If you guys want to extend your course, so you all know that your results for the previous attempt are on 15th of April. So if you guys inform me, if your message is received by me by 16th of April, that ma'am, due to my bad result or due to this reason or whatever reason, I'm not giving this AAA paper in June attempt. I'll leave it in next attempt. So I will be freezing your course and you will be able to access that course for the September batch. That would be a free extension, okay? No charge on that because we do understand if you got your results, if the results are dicey, then you of course are not giving the paper in the June attempt. You will be giving it in September, so that's understandable. No fees charged on that. But if you inform me later on, due to any reasons like you want to procrastinate or do you want to you have that we have that urge that as in when the exam is approaching we are like underconfident and we are like I just want to run away from this paper and then you just procrastinate. This happens a lot because then you fall off the plan, you get demotivated, you don't have the mood of study. If that such thing happens and you want to extend the course, then you have 30% of the extension that is kept as a check on you so that you know that it's not easy that you enrolled in a course, you are not supposed to procrastinate the subject further. So for that, you have 30% of the fees as extension. But if you inform me by like 16th of April, if even if you enroll today and by 16th of April you decide that no, I don't want to give this paper in June, I want to give it in September, then you can easily extend it. The course will be extended free of cost. So that's how it works. And I think I'm clear, Prachi, on this. Yeah. And ma'am, all the live classes will be on Sundays only. Yes, Gia, just one class I've put on Monday. I have a family function to attend. That is on 8th of April. Rest all on Sundays. Yeah. Awesome. So I think we are all clear on whatever has been discussed. So by end of today on your WhatsApp, respective WhatsApp groups, like if you are part of my paid group, if you are already enrolled with me, or if you're planning to enroll, after you get enrolled, you get access to the group. I'll be sharing your planner with you and I'll be sharing your ebooks with you on the WhatsApp group. Okay. So that's it from my side, guys. Yes, Jamil, you can study AAA with AFM, even though I highly recommend that you do it SBR and AAA together. Yes, Aman from BPP and few from ACCA Study Hub as well. So that's it, guys. I'm done for the day, and I hope all of your doubts are also cleared. So we'll be meeting on 24th of March now with ethics and money laundering, and we will be discussing this paper further. And let's start with the classes. Let's start with the whole batch with full zeal, with full like enthusiasm, and with a lot of blessings and good vibes. We will pass this paper, even though the pass percentage is less, but let's not get afraid of this paper. It's manageable. Whatever you feel like, if you think you can do it, you can do it. If you think you can't, if you have doubt on yourself, then things happen in the same way. That's what I really believe. So, when I say 360-degree mentoring, I'm going to mentoring you on the way you think, the way you manifest stuff. So I really believe that if you think you can do this paper, then you can do this paper. If you think that I can't do it, it's totally something which is out of my hands, I will fail this paper, you have that kind of mindset and that negativity, then that will actually happen. If you think good, good will happen. So let's think good, positive, full zeal, and 100% of our efforts. That's what is required in your life, in your qualification, and in your AAA paper as well. So that's it for the day, guys. I hope it was a helpful session. See you all and take care. Goodbye. Good night. Brianna, I'll be sharing ebooks with you. Don't use Kaplan because I don't use Kaplan in my lectures. So that's it, guys. God bless you all. See you all in the live class on 24th of March. And if you're planning on to enroll, make sure you enroll with the website TG Professionals. You'll find it in the description box as well. And if you are a self-study student, don't forget to join our free WhatsApp groups. Bye. Take care. Good night. Thanks for joining in.